welcome. Hope you're having a great day. So I have 3 bonus cards that I created from the Craft with Heart September 2020 subscription that I used a couple of the card bases and some of the extra bonus Cricut cuts. And here's a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to my page or to my channel, that would be great if you could. Also, anytime that you like a video or even a Facebook post and make a comment, you're helping let those forums know the content is something that others might be interested in. So this card, the Sunflowers and Choose to Shine, both came from the note that was included in the Craft with Heart video from Jeannett Lynton. And then these are all of the leftover components from the Cricut cuts that I did. I did 4 half sheets, all the same in each color. So there was the palm branches and the flowers and the leaves, all in, I believe, fern green, peach, bluebell, and then white daisy. So I'm just having fun, kind of doing some dry fitting, see what I want to put together here. I also, the wood grain background for both the top left card and the bottom left card came from card number 10. I cut one of the bases that they send in the kit in half. Actually, I cut both of them in half, added 2 card bases, put each of the halves on a front of the card base to do the card similar to how they had recommended in the card kit. And then I took the other 2 card bases that I had cut in half, you know, the front and the back, and I'm using those here. And I believe the yellow gingham came from card number 11. And I'm just playing around with one of the green flowers and the sentiment and just where do I want to have that. I was trying to decide if I wanted to have 2 rounded corners or 1 rounded corner or 6 rounded corners. Just kidding. I did decide that I wanted to have that wood grain framed on the card base, so I rounded all the corners and am framing it on the base. And I went ahead and put the sunflowers spaced to the right with the blessing on the bottom left. And let's just see if it stays there. So I'm going to take my dry embossing stylus and just give some dimension to the green flower. I'll use some liquid adhesive to put all of the flower pieces together, and then some glue dots for the rest. And I really like how that turned out, and I decided to grab my yellow shimmer brush. And as you can see, I'm just kind of outlining some of, not all of, the petals on the sunflower. And it's just a nice, fun, in real life it has so much shimmer to it. So now we're taking the sentiment from the note card from Jeannette, and I'm again going to frame the gingham paper on the card base. And I'm just taking some leaves, seeing what I want to fill in there and add. I put glue for the 2 white leaves. I love those reverse tweezers. So, and then I just have the flower there, and I cut a leaf in half, and that's small enough to go with that little flower. And these aren't anything, you know, over the top fantastic, but just a nice card to send to brighten someone's day. Popped out the sentiment on there to give it some dimension and interest. And it's a pretty basic throw it together card, but instead of 24, we're going to have 27 cards in this kit. There ends up being a lot of leaves and stars, and I think just a couple of the flowers left by the time I do these 3 bonus cards. So there's still more things to do, but I just will add those leaves into my Cricut cut floral storage, and I will pull those out and add them to cards. So to make the shine, I took my black shimmer brush and just slowly, carefully filled in wherever the black was on the word shine, again, in real life, it really pops and is noticeable. On the camera, it doesn't quite do it justice. So on to the last card, and this is all extra. Cutting down the outside edges so that they frame on the card base, and then I'm just dragging the dry embossing stylus from the ends of the palm fronds towards the center, just to curve them in a little bit, give them some life. If you've seen palm trees and that, they kind of do have that shape. And then I'm having fun with these flowers. Same kind of thing. It's a shallow bowl. It's like a pasta bowl shape. It's not a real high-edged cereal bowl or soup bowl kind of thing. Just a little bit of a slight incline on the sides of those flowers to give them some interest and depth. The one side of the cardstock is darker than the other side of the cardstock, so I was mindful of which leaves I was gluing together, if they were a dark or the light shade. And then with the bluebell, I stamped thanks, because who doesn't need thank you cards? I trimmed down the sentiment, and then I'm edging it, I think, with peach. Yep, that was peach. And now, once again, I'm using my favorite plastic bowl that I want like a dozen more of these because they're just awesome. And filling in the centers with some sequins because you got to have a little glitz. Pretty straightforward, but you can do this however you want. You can sprinkle sequins throughout the whole thing. I'm just kind of auditioning where some of these leaves are going to go, where some of the flowers are going to go. Just play with the leftovers and have some fun, I say. I thought about at one point cutting this wood grain piece in half and doing another card with some of the leftovers, but I think I only had one flower left and no more of the palm branches, so I decided I would just use the fun stuff on this last card and make it a more interesting card. And I'm sure that if you saw any of the other videos, you saw where I took one long palm branch and I would cut it in half and then make two mini, and that's how I got so many of the pink ones or the peach left. So there we go. The cards are done. I'm just going to glue the front to the card base. I'll probably stamp some leaves or something on the inside later and on the envelopes. Or I could have been tired, as these were the end of the day kind of thing. And again, we had contractors in and around the house, so life was crazy. So one more look, kind of finish off, see what I want to add for bling and sparkle, and just have some fun with your supplies. That's what it's all about. I can't imagine anybody complaining about receiving a homemade card. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by.